Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's June 4th, 2016. Since last night, the headlines have been rolling about the death of Muhammad Ali, the boxing legend, the civil rights activist, the cultural icon, if you will. This video is about exposing a real sickness going on in the world. It's not about seeking attention. It's not about misleading people. This work is about spreading knowledge, spreading information, and seeking justice. For more than 3 years, I've been doing this work, exposing how celebrities are ritually sacrificed by the numbers, even in elderly years, such as Muhammad Ali at age 74. One of the first videos I made in October of 2014 was about Muhammad Ali and how significant the number 74 is to him. You can go back and watch that video. Last year in October, I wrote that I expect Muhammad Ali to die this year at age 74 in close proximity to the Summer Games. Of course, Muhammad Ali remembered for opening the 96 Atlanta Games, which we'll talk more about. So for all of you who come here and say, stop making these disrespectful videos, I can only assume that you're trolling or someone that hates the truth or someone that maybe is even responsible for this wrongdoing going on. My work is not about disrespect. It's only about knowledge, understanding, information, and justice. And I don't make any money from this work, but I put a lot of time into it. So anyhow, yesterday I talked about the significance of Muhammad Ali dying on June 3rd, 63 days before the start of the Summer Games in Rio on August 5th. If you add every number up to 63, it sums to 2016, and we're seeing this number a lot in celebrity deaths. Just go back and watch the videos I put out this year. You'll see what I'm talking about. Muhammad Ali changed his name from Cassius Clay in 1964 after becoming the boxing champion. And he took on the name of Muhammad, the prophet from the Bible. Not from the Bible, from the Quran. Muhammad, the prophet, the messenger. Muhammad in history died at age 63. 63. Muhammad Ali dead on 6/3, 63 days before the Olympics. In the year 2016, at the age of 74. Muhammad in Gematria equals 74, which we'll get to. So this year, the Summer Games are in Rio. What's interesting about Rio and Muhammad Ali is they both have Gematria of 42. So does the word messenger. Muhammad is the prophet, the messenger in the Quran. If you take the divisors of 42, that means all the numbers that divide into it, 1, 42, 2, 21, 3, 7, 6, 7. If you take the divisors and add them together, they sum to 96. Remember, Muhammad Ali opened up the 96 games in Atlanta, which we'll also get to. More on 96. But I'm just trying to build this piece by piece. Muhammad Ali was also born in the year 42, 1942. Notice the year 1974, 42 years ago. Dead at 74, 42 years ago that year. The year of his biggest boxing match against George Foreman, which we'll talk about. So Muhammad in the Quran has Gematria of 74, just like Jesus, just like Yeshua, the Greek spelling, just like the word Messiah, just like the word gospel, just like the word cross. And the reason Oregon's on here is because Jesus was crucified on the cross at age 33, supposedly. Oregon is the only state in the United States with a Gematria of 74. It is the 33rd state. And all throughout history, these numbers paired together. On your periodic table, the 33rd element is arsenic with an atomic weight of 74. Arsenic in Gematria equals 33. Look at the hurricane scale. It's called the Saffir-Simpson scale. The qualifying wind speed for a hurricane is 33 meters per second or 74 miles per hour. And there's a whole lot more to it than that. But just 33 and 74, they're important in science, spirituality, geography, history. Muhammad Ali died yesterday on the 33rd parallel in Phoenix, and I'm sure there's some symbolism there with the phoenix. When he opened up the summer games in Atlanta, Atlanta is also on the 33rd parallel. Died at 74 on the 33rd parallel. These numbers that always get paired together, something I was talking about in the video I made with Muhammad Ali and the 74 championship on a date in 33 numerology back in 2014. You know, my message has always been consistent. I'm showing the same thing again and again all throughout history. The World Trade Centers fell down after 33 years, standing on the 74th meridian, plus a million more things. Important numbers all throughout history. From the date he died until the start of the Olympics, if you count the end date, it's 63 days from June 3rd, the start of the Olympics, August 5th. But if you count June 3rd as part of the date, it's 64-day span. And the reason 64 is significant is because the word boxer 64, Muhammad Ali became the boxing champion in 64. Very special number to the Zionists. Israel equals 64, Zion equals 64, Thelema equals 64, which is about do what thou wilt. '64 is also the year Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam. But 64, special number. Talk more about the Zionists in a moment. Today's June 4th, you know, the day of the news. When it was Universal Standard Time, it was already June 4th when they announced that Muhammad Ali had already died. So both of these numbers very relevant to his life. Muhammad Ali was 22 years old when he changed his name. 22, the name Ali's 22. Changed it from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali. From the time of being 22 until the time of his death, age 74 is 52 years. The word prophecy equals 52. Muhammad is the prophet in the Quran. I talked about earlier this year how 52 has been very central in a lot of tragedy stories, a lot of deaths. I said I think this has something to do with the Pope visiting this year. Pope has this gematria of 52, represents the Vatican, Roman Catholicism, gematria of 74. Just like Masonic, just like Jewish, the entities that started the Catholic Church, the CC, the 33. Christopher Columbus, paid for by the Catholic Church, was Jewish. CC, Christopher Columbus. The powers that run this world, people call them the Illuminati, the New World Order. What they are Masons, Jesuits, and Zionists in high places, all operating by this numerological code. The name Muhammad Ali in simple English gematria sums to 96. Muhammad 74, Ali 22, put it together. The word Freemason equals 96. Again, he opened up the 96 Summer Games. The first Olympics in history took place on April 6th, 1896, back when the Gregorian calendar was a new thing for much of the world. April 6th is the 96th day of the year. First Olympics in the year 96, on the 96th day, Muhammad Ali 96, dies in correspondence with the upcoming Summer Games, having opened the 96 Summer Games in Atlanta. Hopefully, I'm explaining this clear enough. That date, April 6th, in that part of the world is written 6/4. Also like boxer, like the total span of 64 days. See how they stack these tributes? This is what I've been exposing. And the more I understand the knowledge, the more I can share. You know, you go back and watch my video from 2014, lots of interesting information. Good video. But compared to what I know now, you know, amateur hour. So for those of you who want to see how I've developed this work, I mean, you can go back and watch my older videos and just watch the discoveries I made over time. The more I learn, the more I can apply, the more I can show. Atlanta, again, where he opened the games on the 33rd parallel, named after the lost city of Atlantis. Atlantis has gematria of 33, so does the abbreviation ATL. So does his original name, Cassius Clay. If you guys want to learn how to gematria, go down to the description. I have it linked. How to gematria. You can just watch the first 10 minutes of that video, and you'll have learned enough. But if you watch all of it, you'll be better off. Here's the coordinates of Atlanta and Phoenix. Cities named after cities from ancient civilizations. I want to point out where he died in Phoenix on the 112th meridian. That's the alt dialing code for 911. And in yesterday's video, I talked about how they were coding 911 while he was in the hospital. We'll revisit that. But 112, the alt dialing code for 911. Don't test me on your phone. If you do that, you're going to be connected. 112 in almost all 50 states will connect you to 911. Here's Muhammad Ali in 96. Reminds me that I should look into when he got his Parkinson's. I wouldn't be surprised if this sick gang of tyrants that murders by the number and owns these celebrities gave this guy his symptoms, maybe as a grand experiment. So anyway, the Rumble in the Jungle, Ali versus George Foreman, said to be maybe the greatest boxing match ever, took place October 29th, 1974. The year 74. It was the first fight promoted by Don King. You know, the dude with the hair? Don King. Don King 74. Masonic 74. Jewish 74. The people scripting sports by the numbers for all these years. Sports have been scripted in this nation since the beginning. I know people have a hard time believing that, but watch the videos I'm putting out. Becomes more undeniable each day. The date of this fight, October 29th, 74, a date with 113 numerology, super special number to the Masons and the Zionists. The word mainstream equals 113. The word dishonest equals 113. In Bava Kama 113a, out of the Talmud, it says it's okay for Jews to lie to people who aren't Jewish. Now take a look at your world media. Doesn't matter what country you go to, it's the same story. The Jews control the media worldwide. They have for a very long time, since more than a century, since the time of papers. They're the ones who created the news and the world the way we know it. They've built this world around us. They have been building a vision. But Bava Kama 113a says it's okay to lie to somebody who's not Jewish. And look, it's coded into our language. You watch my channel, you see how much I talk about these numbers all throughout history. Broken record I am, because I'm exposing a broken record. This was also a date with 33 numerology. In the year 74, 33, 74. Don is a name with 33 gematria. Don King, his first fight. Is Don King still working in boxing? I don't follow boxing at all anymore. Maybe he is. October, also the only month with 33 gematria. No other month has it. There's that Baba Kama 113a. Jews may use lies to circumvent a Gentile. Just clean and straightforward. You know, it's okay. They're not Jewish, don't worry. It's okay to lie to them. Permitted in your good holy book. And that's the problem with these holy books. You know, everyone's holding their holy book saying it's the true one. You know, the believing Jew. See, it says it's okay. It's okay to lie to people who aren't Jewish. It also says it's okay to have sex with little boys. And you know what? Oh, I'm not even going to elaborate. Remember what I said about the ties with the Masons and the Jews and the Catholic Church and little boys? You'll put it together. The fight was called the Rumble in the Jungle, having gematria of 79, just like the word champion. It was fought between George Foreman and Muhammad Ali. George Foreman, born January 10th, 1949. Muhammad Ali, born January 17th, 1942. Both dates were 79 numerology. And you see this kind of coding a lot in athletes in the big championship game. The lesson to learn is just because you have that coding, it doesn't mean you'll win. Ali won this fight, Foreman went down, but again, these were the champions meeting. Rumble in the Jungle, champion, your entire history coded by the numbers. 59, a number stamped all over black Americans all throughout history. The fight was in Zaire, gematria of 59. Just like Negro, just like slave, just like blues. Motown Records came out in 59. First national news story creating sympathy, but also a divisive argument for a black American who'd been lynched. That was Mac Charlie Parker in 59. They say AIDS was discovered in the Belgian Congo in 1959. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. This stuff is sick. Belgian Congo in gematria equals 59. The word kill in Jewish gematria equals 59. Many black people worldwide know there is a real agenda against them to destroy them as a race. And this isn't a proven science. A lot of people have said this to me over the years. The more I do this research, the more I believe this theory. This is it. The original Jews were the black people of the world from Africa. And I think what happened is a group of people known as Khazars over time murdered these people, stole their identity, and made themselves the Jews. And then they've taught the world things such as they're God's chosen people. And, I'm not here to promote division. I'm here to promote truth, honesty. If you're Jewish and you're watching this and you think this is wrong, voice your opinion. Let me hear what you have to say. But I'm trying to say, also at the same time, a lot of religions of this world, they're a real perversion, and they are here to cause all the wrongdoing that we experience. Bava Kama 113a. There's a reason that there's so much hatred over the years coded into black people. And there's so much murder by numbers. Whitney Houston, her daughter. If you guys haven't seen my work, everything I've been showing, don't worry, I'm putting it all in a book. It's almost done. One of the most important chapters, probably the most important chapter, is race war. And I show how all throughout history they have created these stories that we know, from Rodney King to Mac Charlie Parker to Trayvon Martin to Michael Brown to Sandy Bland to Freddie Gray to everything else I'm not naming right now, Sean Bell, so many more, all coded with these same numbers that have this racist meaning, this meaning of division. All throughout history, this has been done. I hope that my book spreads like wildfire, and this Masonic Zionist agenda is put to bed once and for all. Because, it's just sick. You guys get it. And just imagine how I feel. I've been here for 3 years, working day and night, putting it out, and the majority of the comments are people attacking, saying disrespectful, crazy, doesn't make sense. All right, let's move on. Here's some more things I noticed. Last night, CNN changed their headline to this: in the wake of Muhammad Ali's death, the greatest is gone. And if you go watch my video from 2014, I talk about this nickname, the greatest, in light of Floyd Mayweather and his nickname Pretty Boy. I predicted at the time Mayweather's 47th fight was coming up at the time. The name the greatest equals 47. The reflection is 74. Pretty Boy equals 47. At the time, I predicted that Mayweather's biggest fight of his career would probably be his 47th. It ended up being the fight with Pacquiao, which probably was the biggest fight of his career. So here's everything that's in this headline right here. Check this out. The greatest is gone has gematria of 197, which is the 45th prime number. And the reason that stands out is him dying on June 3rd. Yesterday was a date with 45 numerology. And so I got to thinking, what could they mean by coding 45? And I thought, 45 was in years 1971, 45 years ago. And if you watch my recent work, I've been talking about the significance of 1971 in this year in the world of basketball. This is happening during the time of the NBA Finals. Quran has gematria of 71. 45 years ago is 1971. In the Quran, there are 114 chapters. Right now, we're in the time of the 114th Congress. King James in gematria equals 114. Might be some weird parallel going on with LeBron James that I don't see yet. But this is truly how they script all these events and bring them together. It's connected with news, current events, other sports. It's a lot to understand, but this is truly how the powers that be are working. That nickname, the greatest, 47, just like Pretty Boy, Floyd Mayweather's nickname. Again, Muhammad, 74, dead at age 74. Notice how CNN posts at 108, the word geometry equals 108. Think about what geometry is. Finding like shapes, symmetry. This is what it is right here. Here's something else I want to point out. And I don't like saying this either. A lot of foreshadowing has been for the assassination of Barack Obama, and we're getting near the end of his second term. All throughout history, the number 44 has been connected to assassination. The word kill equals 44. Of course, Obama's the 44th president. The first president to die in office died on April 4th, 4-4. Same date Martin Luther King Jr. died in history. The last president to die in office was the assassination of JFK, who was the 44th term president, died in the middle of Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Freemason on 11/22. 11/22/63, by the way, the year 63. 11 plus 22 plus 63 is 96. If you write out 44, if you write out April 4th as words, they both sum to 144. In the year 1961, the year Obama was born, on the Andy Griffith Show, on Christmas Day, there was an episode about a bootlegging family getting traced back to the address 411 Elm Street. The Kennedys were a bootlegging family. JFK ended up getting shot from 411 Elm Street. Barack Obama was born 144 days before that episode. JFK died on the first day of Sagittarius. Sagittarius has gematria of 144. His brother Bobby Kennedy would die at 1:44 in the morning. 1:44. Robert Kennedy was shot he died June 6th at 1:44 in the morning. That's the 156th day of the year. The name Robert Kennedy equals 156. If you write out 33 as a word, it sums to 156. The number 911 is the 156th prime. Might have covered that already. I want to get to yesterday's headline, though, in the significance of 156. Everyone was saying he was in grave condition in the daytime, the phrase of emphasis. And grave condition, 156. Just like 33 dies on the 33rd parallel, just like February 2nd, which is the 33rd day of the year. Just like the phrase, as above, so below, for the Star of David, the symbol that represents 33. You know, Prince just died by the numbers. Then Tupac's mom, her death announced on Machiavelli's birthday. Tupac's final studio name, Machiavelli. Machiavelli wrote The Prince. All of this stuff is intertwined. There's a reason it's all happening in 2016. I also pointed out in yesterday's video, Muhammad Ali had a life lesson number of 34. The word murder equals 34. The number 139 is the 34th prime. He died 139 days after his birthday. Scripted to the day. This is how well orchestrated all of this truly is. And what it goes to show, unfortunately, is that Muhammad Ali, he didn't change his name from Cassius Clay. He was told to. These people that we know through the TV, they are owned. The only voices, the only names we get to know are the people who are put out by this media that is controlled by this gang. A very important point. Here we're talking about a boxer. Think about all the money made from boxing by this gang of individuals that really hates black people. They're laughing to the bank, having black men beat each other and raking in the millions. The name Muhammad Ali has gematria of 42, just like the most hateful word for black Americans. February, Black History Month, the only month that sums to 42. February 28th is the 59th day of the year. Talked about 59 and 42, the numbers that get stamped on black Americans again and again. Again, Freemason 42, Rio 42. Muhammad Ali, 96, like Freemason the big way. Most boxing rings, 96 feet around, 24 feet on each side. The reflection of 42. His birth name, Cassius Clay, CC 33, plus the name Cassius Clay, you add it up, it sums to 33. My friend Josh Stoss, who has a channel, who's taken this work and applied it to the Quran, he figured out that 19 and 91 are heavily coded into this book, and I just noticed how the name Cassius has this gematria of 91. Check out Josh Stoss. He's done some great work. There's more things I need to know, I have to go back and revisit his video. I just remember him talking about that to the day. There it is, 139 days from his birthday to his death. Here's what else I want to point out about creating these people by the numbers, having them be agents. The word agent equals 47, just like the greatest. So does the word president. I want to talk about the president right now, the 44th president, because I guarantee you his name is not Barack Hussein Obama. You know, coming after the time of having the nation confused and blamed with the collapse of the World Trade Centers on Osama and Saddam Hussein. Then we get this president, Barack Hussein Obama. We're being made fun of. Anyway, Barack in English gematria equals 216. His birthday is August 4th, the 216th day of the year. Right now, the NBA Finals are going on. Cleveland's in it, home of the 216 area code where the Republican convention will be this year. If you add up, or not if you add, if you take the number 666 and you multiply 6 times 6 times 6, it sums to 216. Think about the year 2016. 0 doesn't count in numerology. 2016 is a lot like 216. And maybe I forgot to say so. Did I not put it up here? Here's the point I was trying to make about Obama. If you count the end date, Obama's birthday is the day before the Rio Games start. 63 days. Could this be a foreshadowing for Obama? Ali's death also comes 44 days after Prince's death. Kill equals 44. As I often say, all these deaths, these murder by numbers, they're part of an ongoing ritual. Continual tributes that are all part of a web of interrelated stories. You know, right now they're talking about Muhammad Ali and what he did for the Vietnam War, speaking up. Think about this. Obama just went to Vietnam on May 23rd. Obama in gematria equals 84. His birthday is August 4th. United States of America equals 84. Vietnam equals 84. Vietnam's home of the plus 84 international dialing code. Obama, in visiting there, overturned a weapons embargo that was in place since 1984. We intervened in Vietnam. It was a civil war between North and South. Civil war. The day that Obama was in Vietnam, they brought back up the Freddie Gray trial. And you can look up the Freddie Gray trial and the name Robert Valentine. Like Valentine's Day, he was supposedly a Vietnam veteran who helped chill out the people at the protests. And he was a staged actor, part of a contrived story. Anyhow, as I pointed out in the time of the Freddie Gray incident, remember, Obama's in Vietnam, Freddie Gray trial comes back up because a police officer gets acquitted on the same day. Freddie Gray was injured April 12th. He died April 19th in Baltimore. In history, the Civil War began April 12th in Charleston. The first casualty wasn't till April 19th of the war, a week later. The same dates for Freddie Gray. The week before Freddie Gray was injured, Walter Scott was shot in Charleston. 74 days later, there was a church shooting in Charleston that was all coded with 74. Dylan Stormroof, the name of the shooter, equals 74. Calhoun equals 74, the street. The man that established the church, Morris Brown, 74. Bible study class equals 74. He was arrested on Interstate 74. I'm just trying to show you. It's the same numbers all throughout history. The assassination of Walter Scott in Charleston came on the 47-year anniversary of the death of Martin Luther King Jr. That shooting was April 4th. The Charleston church shooting was June 17th. The date Rodney King died on at age 47. Rodney King beaten on 3-3 by the LAPD, which equals 33. Police equals 33. Race war equals 33. I know it's a lot of information. I don't know where I overwhelmed you at. You're probably overwhelmed by now. But again, my book's coming out soon. All throughout history, event by event. I show how it's all done by the numbers. And guess what else needs to be in this book now? Muhammad Ali. For those of you who are anxious for the book, I'm thinking what I might do is start finalizing the chapters I've already done and start releasing them one by one. I almost want to wait till the end of 2016, the end of Obama's term, before publishing the book. I think 2016, we're just getting started. This year is going to be a lot more eventful. And by the end of it, we'll be able to put a lot more pieces of the puzzle together. But that's what this is, this world we live in. It's run by madmen who are killing people by the numbers, creating propaganda by the numbers, giving the people riddles that they don't expect them to solve. And here, this channel, it's about solving those riddles, spreading the knowledge, creating a team effort to undo what has been done, the wrongdoing. And my ultimate goal is to build up a big enough group of people that we can gather in an important place and overturn the wrongdoing, such as the nation's capital. All right, truth seeker, until next time.